It's the corn season, and my favorite thing to do with corn is to make corn chaff. I'm going to be sharing with you guys today my corn chaff recipe, and let's get into the ingredients. Of course, I'm going to be using corn. I will use just 1.5 bowl of this corn, and then I'm going to use one bowl, this same bowl. I'm using the same bowl to measure because I always like my corn to be slightly above the beans. How do you like your corn chaff? More beans or more corn? I'm going to also be using some onions and pepper. I will not blend the pepper because of my kids. This is some extra beans which I'm going to mash for thickening. This is red oil. I'm going to use more, some dry fish, and then some blended crayfish. I'm also going to use white pepper and bush pepper. A lot of people don't use this. They use country onion instead. I'm going to blend the stems of my green spices, and then I'm going to of course use some salt and seasoning, and then we are going to also use some blended garlic and ginger. Now into the process, I pour my corn into the pot, and then I go ahead to add my beans. I'm going to mix it all up. You can see that my corn is more than the beans. That's how I like it. How do you like yours? Leave it in the comment section. I'll add in the leftover beans. I'm just going to mix it together. You can still see that my corn is still more than the beans because I use 1.5 of that bowl, and then just one for the beans. Now I'm adding all my ingredients: the fish, the white pepper, the bush pepper. I'm going to add in everything you saw except for the crayfish, which I'm going to add at some point later. The crayfish, and then the mashed beans, which I'm going to use for thickening. So I like my corn chaff to be thick on the first day. Most times when I cook it without mashing some beans, it's not very thick, and I like it thick. So you know the feeling you get when you cook corn chaff and then you eat it the next day. I like that feeling on the first day, so that's why I add the beans. But sometimes I just make it without that, and then I still enjoy it that way, and then by the next day it will be thick. So you can see I'm adding everything apart from the extra beans, and then my crayfish. I'm going to put it once the pot is really boiling. That's when I'm going to put it. So I've added everything. The oil I showed you guys was small, so I went ahead to bring the container and add more, and then I'm just going to put my water to be a little bit above the corn and beans, and then we take it to the fire, and I'm going to cook it. Every time I'm cooking something like corn chaff, ekwang, I use my charcoal pot, and it's really fast. So you see the pot had been boiling. I went ahead to add my mashed beans, my crayfish, and then voila, our corn chaff is ready. I think it took 30 minutes on the fire, and yeah, the corn and beans were already ready, so it didn't need to stay on the fire. And voila, our corn chaff is ready and served. Enjoy. Try out this recipe and tell me how it turned out for you.